Now, I will keep an eye on the time. We'll like see where we're at for break wise, but if we're all doing okay, we might just push through tonight. Again, Steph, if you weren't there, I just wanted to say thank you for being flexible with the start time on our end. But full disclosure, yours truly did not prep. So go be fun night.
Oh.
So where did we leave off last time?
I took notes.
At the bottom of a crystal pit is all I remember.
Mm-hmm. There's
That's
butterflies.
brave of you to say bottom.
And Sir Basil knows
Fire butterflies, possibly the plane of fire, or crossing over to the plane of fire.
I wrote denizens of the plane of fire in quotes.
Yeah.
So yes. And Astra suggested to Apoc to back away slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're about to throw down with some butter. And
Apoc said, back up where? Because I listened to the last 5 minutes of the last episode.
Oh, yeah. Right. Good job. Yeah, so you have entered the cave of what you believe to be the hot spot, or the place where this aspect of fire might be located, armed with the borealis and some shards of the aspect of ice, knowing that this area is going to be hot, even feeling the heat radiating from the cave. You bravely set foot one after another into this cave system, following what Astra described as just the largest path and trying to avoid offshoots, at least for the very beginning. You know that the farthest point that anyone has reached, there were reports of large shining crystals, not unlike the ones that you have currently found yourself. As you had reached the crystalline area, you had passed an area of dark porous stone filled with like small and large diamonds into the cracks, collecting a couple, taking a little bit of heat damage, a little bit of just kind of exhaustion from the heat of this place. And as you are all feeling the weight of your armor, the weight of your equipment, the heaviness of your breathing, as the heat is just starting to kind of sit inside your bodies, Apoc, not able to really withstand the heat, vision starting to go a little bit fuzzy at the edges. I think you were the only one, as you have begun to navigate your way down. These crystals in this pit that you are traveling down are like 5-10 feet diameter in places, long kind of octagonal shards that have sheared off in places, crashed into one another, but are spiking pretty much crisscrossed across this massive pit. Every so often you can see like offshoot tunnels, but trying very hard to just maintain your course. Sir Basil using, I think, spider climb to make sure that you can help and find a way down. A few of your folks taking tumbles, thankfully not too bad up at the top. But as you make it, you do not see the bottom. It is just pitch black as you look over the edge of crystals, and it kind of makes your stomach turn a little bit as you do not know how far down you need to go. I think somebody had dropped a rope at one point, 50-foot length of rope. I can't remember offhand if I said 50 feet or not, but
yeah, we're past
that. Past that 50 feet, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you are still going down with no end in sight. As Apoc, I guess, takes a tumble, but takes no fall damage because he is awesome. And out of the kind of like aura and mirage in his vision, sees a butterfly just flapping, and seeing another, and seeing another. Astra warning that these might be some form of territorial species from the potential plane of fire. Apoc saying, back away where? We'll pick up there as you all find yourself precariously balanced on some of these crystals, all frozen for just a minute as you all now begin to notice many of these butterflies, just stationary. They kind of look fluffy almost before they kind of turn to this like wisp around the edge. It's almost like everything is just a little blurry in their features as they just sit.
We still have the telepathy, right?
Yes, that was the other thing. That was Aurora.
And we're all within 30 feet of each other. Is that correct?
We don't have any distance between each other. I just have to be 30 feet to cast it originally.
No, but I'm just asking right now. Are we all within 30 feet of each other?
I think we're all relatively
Think of
close. It's like
so 30 feet is not far. 30 feet is 10 meters. I think if I am not mistaken, a few of you took a tumble that round.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say you're close. You might all be within 30 feet, but it might be a little tough to tell since you're all kind of at different levels around you. You can try.
Never trust the butterfly, Apoc.
Are you guys all close? I want to do something to make us quieter, but I need everybody to be near. If we want to sneak through this.
Can I work my way over to Apoc just as quietly as possible?
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Sorry, guys, we missed the last of that out. We're having some internet problems. So,
Oh, just to recap, Aurora, I don't know where you left off. Apoc is asking how close everybody is.
Okay.
You may or may not all be within 30 feet. It's kind of hard to tell as Apoc's not turning around to check. Aurora's trying to get closer. Quietly.
That's a 4.
okay.
How close did you need us?
As you hear that, as Aurora's foot slips and she falls.
As
once
she
again,
falls, before she hits the ground, I want to cast silence to where she's falling.
What are the components for silence?
You have to shout to cast silence.
It's a shh.
I would like you to make a stealth check.
God damn it.
Aurora, as your foot slips, as you're trying to move and you take another tumble, that is another 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you once again fall 10 feet and smack into one of the crystals. We'll see if it's a loud smack or not.
So stealth checks, I've got a +7, so that's 17. But my skulker trait also gives me advantage in dim light and darkness.
It's
so
not dim light.
Is it darkness?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, one thing I forgot. These
Okay.
crystals are emanating
Okay.
light and they are like warm to the
Yeah.
touch, but you can see like daylight.
So 17.
Okay. Somehow, Apoc, in your ranger ways, you're able to very quietly state the verbal component of the silence spell, which is hilarious that it's a verbal component for a
Yes.
silence spell.
Yes.
Without seemingly to alert the butterflies, even though they do appear to be kind of looking right at you. As Aurora goes to smack, and as you say, ow, Aurora, you hear.
I think your mic went out. Could you move the mic over a little bit more for?
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
I'll turn it up too so you get more gain.
Perfect.
Did you guys, where did I drop off?
Yeah, you're good. Just right at the last moment there.
Okay. Silence spell went off. You make no noise.
Can we still telepathically? Yeah? Okay, guys, if you all drop down right now, you won't make any noise, I promise. But make sure you jump on Aurora.
Elle's gonna like cannonball onto Aurora.
So Basil's gonna hesitantly just kind of like look over, see Elle jump first, and he goes, and then jumps as well.
Okay, hold on. You're trying to aim for Aurora. I feel like this has to be a roll.
Maybe not right on her, but it's a good
No,
aim.
no, right for the solar plexus is where I was going for.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
I'm really good at these.
Anybody who's jumping to meet Aurora, give me an acrobatics.
18 total.
22.
Okay.
Swan diving, yo, just
Yeah. So Sir Basil with spider climb chooses to jump to Aurora and is able to land with no damage taken. Same with Elle. I'll leave it up to you to decide if you do smash into Aurora or not, because you both rolled quite high. Aurora?
I was gonna say, Basil, as you like land on me, you like landed right in my cleavage.
so Basil just goes.
And this Elle, like, if Basil lands first, Elle comes behind. When she hits, he like pops out. Like those giant water things that someone sits on one and then you hop on the other.
You don't hear it, but you can hear telepathically. No double bounces.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Wow. That's
Is
somebody's
that-
something.
What?
Somebody something.
So Basil, I'm just be saying like, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
As you hear Astra kind of come through, because I think she has telepathy on as well. You just hear Astra come through with a shh. Please try to stay still and quiet. As you see the butterflies just gently kind of turning in your direction.
We got silence for 10 minutes here.
Silent stationary?
Yes, absolutely. It's a point you choose. So could I choose Aurora?
Does it say you can choose a creature?
Just a point in
Any
space.
creature- No, it's just a point. You choose a point. Yeah. It's not choose a creature.
I'd like for you to make a perception check for me, since you are the one still facing the butterfly. As you are all now kind of clumped together, like Aurora and Basil and Elle, you're all on one crystal. Apoc is on another. Mrs. Q, I think you passed the last check. So you're kind of like right up behind them. Same with Astra.
Sorry, I forgot I'm rolling with disadvantage. It's an 18 still.
It's an 18.
It was a 24, but with disadvantage, it's 18.
As you are facing the butterflies, and you're trying to get an idea, trying not to disturb them or not to move, you almost kind of notice that like there's one position very close in front of you, but the next set you see is almost like equidistance back and around this main butterfly.
Huh.
And as you see kind of reflections through bouncing off the crystals, you have absolutely no idea how many there are because you do see reflections in some of the faces of the crystals. You remember you saw some movement before, you think it might be the same thing. You see another set that are almost like they appear like equidistant, the few that you can see, all kind of like radiating.
I don't want to take control of this, but I'm really curious to do something if it's within like foot or two of me.
So think of like you are kind of backed up against the wall of the cave. You have a crystal, probably about 30, 40 feet of crystal in front of you, and that first butterfly is there. You're not face to face.
Oh, okay. It's not right next to us.
No,
okay.
You could get closer, but you see that it is like in your general direction.
Okay. I don't want to do anything then.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Guess I should move. Everyone seems to be moving. Right? We're all
Where would
moving
you like to go?
onwards and I haven't moved yet.
Yes, but you can still observe from where you are.
Okay. I just don't want to get left behind.
Well, Astra is still.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Never mind. I'm gonna sort of keep my vantage point.
Okay.
Can we see a way forward? Not at the butterflies, or are they kind of a bit of a impediment to us getting through the same way we were going?
Yeah, so at a brief glance, like you were moving down. It is getting a little disorienting, but at the very minimum, you're moving down the way that gravity is pulling you. Thank goodness you have that at least. as you look up and you see Crystal, behind you is the cave wall. You're kind of hugging it as you go down, but in front of you is just mismatched. You can kind of see some walls off to the side, but it does get very spiky. These butterflies appear to be like radiating out from you, but in every direction. So like a sphere, like a cone almost. So there are some below you. Now that you realize that there's some above you, they're farther in. At a quick glance, you kind of look over, you could still make it down, but you're not going to be out of their eyesight. If you want to try and get a way better idea, then I will ask for a check. But on quick glance, like they're not blocking you necessarily, but you have to pass them.
Talk to bugs.
Heck yeah, I can.
You want to try talking to a butterfly?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Okay, hang on. Let me see how this works. I think this isn't a feature. Where is it? Where is it? Where
It
is
was like simple communication
Yeah.
to
Kill up forest magic, nature. Speak with bugs. There we go.
and you haven't used this since like the depths of Elderheart, I think.
Okay. We'll see how this goes. Mostly because, okay, it's fine. So Mrs. Q gets the attention, hopefully, of the nearest butterfly.
How?
She goes a little,
Okay.
okay. And then you start hearing her make some unusual sounds.
Such as?
Pew, doop, 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 doop. And like making some like,
Can you do that first, guy? I didn't realize.
shut up, I'm having a conversation.
Uh-huh.
And so she is trying to communicate. Okay, simple ideas. Okay. We are friends. It's my antenna.
Uh-huh. Yep. And as you're doing this, are you in the cone of silence? You did not move.
She's up top.
She's up top. Okay. And it's a 30-foot thing,
The cone
the cone.
or the silence?
Yeah.
It's a 20-foot sphere. So
It's a 20-foot sphere, 20 feet.
20-foot sphere. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you would be in the sphere of silence. So you're doing this, but even though you think you're making noises, you're not. So you are just doing the actions.
Okay, that might be.
Is there a verbal component to the spell that needs to go through?
It just says through sounds and gestures. So I don't know if it's like, it could be one or it could be the other, or it has to be both. I will
Okay. Well, it says or, so it could be one or the other.
Well, it says and. But it's in general, like through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with creatures of each subtype. So presumably that might depend on the thing you're talking to.
How literal do we want to be?
Yeah. Okay, so you start making these gestures and the butterfly still kind of flapping there. The one in front, like 30, 40 feet away from Apoc, is kind of flapping. And as you start making these more erratic gestures, you see it kind of start to hover just a little bit higher up. But it doesn't seem to respond. Just kind of like slightly turns more so in your direction, but it doesn't respond.
Okay.
For whatever reason, you're not sure.
I don't know if, oh, I can't speak. Oh, wait, no, I can. Don't know if they're really truly bugs. Normally I get some kind of response. These might be special types of, this might be just a form they take in this plane.
Is there a way to test that?
I don't know.
You would also know if you're in the sphere and you couldn't talk. Like, right?
Yeah, so Mrs. Q, you tried to vocalize and make clicking sounds, but you couldn't hear yourself making any clicking sounds.
Mhm.
Aurora, did you want to say something earlier?
No, I'm good.
What are we doing, guys? And gals? And everyone in between?
I don't know, what do you think?
So we can't make any sudden movements, but we're also not making a lot of noise, which is good.
There's another bug down here. Did you want to try and talk to it?
Okay.
Aim for the breasts.
Mrs. Q,
What, Sean?
What was that?
I said aim for the rest.
gosh. Mrs. Q, from where she is like, okay, recognizing that she can't make any of her specialized butterfly sounds.
Right.
She starts like making the gestures, but because the animal is further away and she's trying to communicate more loudly, but through gestures, her gestures are getting like really like big.
All right, and you're targeting a different butterfly.
Yes.
Okay. So the one in front by Apoc was your initial target. You're kind of targeting the one that's just like a little bit behind, a little bit, you're a little higher up, so a little higher up. So maybe more in line with your eyesight. And as it's kind of just gently flapping, and you're starting to really erratically move to get its attention and convey your message to it. Does a 19 hit you?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
Yeah, it does.
As this butterfly begins to almost like kind of pick up almost before it flaps its wings hard and this like mote of fire shoots straight towards you and like pierces into your shoulder, catching some of your fur on fire. You are going to take. All right, I don't have this up.
Yikes.
You are going to take 15 points of fire damage as it smacks into your shoulder. As this butterfly, you have gotten its attention, and it didn't quite pick up what you were putting down.
Would I have seen that?
Yes, you would have all seen this.
Form of dread immediately.
Okay. Oh no.
I don't think they're friends with us.
I am going to get everyone to roll an initiative. We're not necessarily in a fight, but just order of operations for my own sake.
Mm-hmm.
How many did you say there were, Andrea?
It is hard to tell. You can see 7 of them clearly within like 40-ish feet of you, and then you see reflections and some peeping through the crystals farther away. Oh, why didn't this add your characters? Sorry. So it's a little hard to tell how many, but why didn't this add you? Oh, because I have to run it. There we go. Okay. Apoc.
21.
1.
Is-
Aurora.
Yeah, these aren't with disadvantage, right? Okay.
6.
Okay. Elle.
19.
Okay. Mrs. Q.
14.
Basil.
19 as well.
19 as well. These guys. I gotta roll. Okay. Okay, there we go. So this is order of operations only. We can kind of shuffle things around, but everyone's going to act on a round. So, for example, first up, we have Apoc, Elle, Basil, Mrs. Q in that order. So, Apoc, what are you going to do first? As you just see this thing hurl a moat, and you see all the butterflies start to flap a little bit. Not as gently as before. You kind of see the flames starting to wiggle off of their wings. What are you going to do?
Is there a group of them kind of flapping near each other? You said they're all kind of scattered out, kind of like equidistant. Eh?
Yeah, so you see the one that's like 30 feet away from you at the end, pretty much, of the crystal that you're on. The next one would be like up and back 15, 20 feet. And the one after that is like up, like diagonal and back kind of thing.
Like how far away are they?
So the closest one's 30 feet. The rest of them are like 20 feet away from that one. So they're in like a 40-foot diameter sphere, let's say.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everybody?
I think so.
And those are the closest of the ones you see.
All right, they're butterflies. Like they're not abnormally large butterflies, right? Like they're standard butterflies.
No, they're about the size of your torso.
Oh shit, they're big. All right, fuck it. Can I run up to the one that's right in front of us, 30 feet?
Sure.
As I run up to it, is it still there? Like, is it moving away? Is it fine?
It's starting to flap more, but it hasn't moved away yet.
Okay, as I'm running up, I pull out a potion of frost and I pour it on that fucker.
Let's go.
Oh boy.
Potion of frost, do.
The ice blue potion appears in semi-frozen state between freezing and melting, cold to the touch. It can be applied to a weapon, thrown, or consumed. When thrown, I'll read this one. I think it applies the closest here. The potion will cause an instantaneous flash freeze in a 10-foot square space.
Right.
I just want to pour it on it. I don't want it to explode and be messy. I just want to pour it on it.
Okay.
Um,
So you are within that 10-foot flash freeze then.
Sure, I'll let you rule that. Because it's not a throw, it's a pour. It's a gentle pour on the butterfly.
Okay.
I want to know how a homebrewed potion of frost applies to this butterfly.
Shush you. I made this ages ago.
I know you did. I have one left, and I believe...
I'm gonna count this as the thrown bit
Okay, well,
because you are not consuming it or applying it to a weapon.
okay, then can I just throw it from over 10 feet away then? Because...
Give me an attack roll with your dexterity.
You know what? Fuck it. Apoc is right next to it. Let's roll with this. Can I guarantee that? I mean, I rolled really well. It's a 22.
Okay.
But, like, I will be right there making sure it gets on this butterfly.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay. So
I'm pretty sure this is the experimental one as well. Because I only have one left.
right. Okay. I have this tag for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens with the potion?
Flash freeze 10-foot square. Any creature attempting to cross the surface, dex saving throw, fall or be knocked prone. Creature move at half speed in order to not have to make the saving throw. If the potion bursts on a creature, specifically the target, and anyone within 5 feet of the target must make a dex save throw of 14. On a failure, they take 3d8 frost damage without taking any action on their next turn. Half damage on save.
Okay.
If a creature consumes it, they must make a con save of 18. And if they fail, they also take 68.
Okay. So it's not consuming it.
I mean,
It is not consuming it.
okay.
Unless you're gonna try and pour it right in its mouth and not consuming it.
Or red on its back.
Or in its mouth.
So, okay. Potion bursts on a creature, specifically the target, and anyone within 5 feet of the target must make a dex saving throw of 14. So please make that throw. It does not make it.
I make it.
Okay. So then roll 3d8.
I was hoping for something cooler, like I get a solid crystal frozen butterfly.
This is an experimental potion of frost.
It's 18 points of frost damage.
Yep. As I check my notes again.
Yeah.
So with 18 points of frost damage, so you take 9.
Sure, I'll take that.
As you kind of like pour it or chuck it on there, and you slide forward on the ice that forms, which we will resolve in a minute because it's an instant flash freeze. This butterfly that was just flapping kind of vigorously, as you pour it, its wings kind of come down and freeze in place as you have done enough damage that it just kind of freezes in midair. And as it does freeze, it just like topples over and falls, and you can reach out and catch it if you want.
I would like to catch it.
Okay. You can go ahead and catch it. And as you do, and you kind of pull your hand away, you see that the surface underneath, as you kind of like wipe away the frost, although this butterfly has frosted, as you start to wipe it away, it looks like sheer crystal on the inside. As the potion of frost may have done a little bit extra to almost like petrify this butterfly in frost. And as you start to wipe away, you have a crystalline butterfly, and I will get you details.
Ooh, that's fun.
However, because the potion of frost flash freezes in a 10-foot square space, you are now at the edge of your crystal on a slippery, icy surface.
Woo.
We resolve that on your.
Cool, that's fun.
We'll resolve that when it comes to it.
Apoc can take a fall.
Ice move.
Go ahead, make a dex saving throw on this turn, and we'll see what happens. So you can act on your.
I
Do
saw
you
that.
want
I saw that,
another one,
Georgina.
or just ride the existing one.
No. This
Okay.
one is to prevent you from slipping and falling.
That's 23.
Oh.
Okay. As you catch this thing and you do this really awesome slide where you just kind of do a full 180 to face your friends with this crystalline, like structured butterfly in your hand, stopping just at the edge of the crystal.
It's like AJ Brown catching a game-winning touchdown in
Sure.
the end zone of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
picture that
Yeah.
for all of you viewers at
How
home.
oddly specific.
I know, right? Topical.
As you have like just made it, it looks super cool, but you don't slide off. However, you are on ice.
Sweet.
Okay, Elle, Basil, Mrs. Q, jumping in and out so that at least all of you have a turn this round. Elle. Nicely done.
It's fun.
After thinking about how cool Apoc looks, Elle's going to kind of look around. I think she's going to kind of stick to where she is, or kind of, I don't know. Is there a direction that we are still trying to go towards? Just down?
You were traveling down. Just generally down.
Elle's going to try to kind of take some movement to continue to move down. If I want to hold my action, though, I want to hold a frostbite, or if any of the butterflies approach me as I try to move through.
Okay. So as you go ahead and jump down to the next crystal, I just need an acrobatics check to see if you land on your feet.
Oh, 12?
12. As you jump to the next crystal, trying to get out of the way, you land safely on the next crystal, but you kind of tweak your ankle as you do, and you unfortunately fall prone and take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. So you are now prone.
Come in. Okay.
Yeah, but you are holding your action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's if any of the butterflies. Can I say if they come towards me or another party member?
Yeah, if they approach a friend, as long as it's within range, for sure.
Yeah, it's a 60-foot range.
Okay.
So with my movement, am I out of the silent cone?
Yes, you would be out of silence at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, and kind of just watch to see what. I feel like we're in like a field of jellyfish. That's how I'm imagining this right now. So I'm just kind of gonna watch and see.
Jellyfish are essentially.
Yeah, like
That's
so
a
you could.
really good analogy.
I was like, I don't want to run into them and get hurt, but I also don't want to like start moving quickly in case they decide to like start moving all over. So.
All right, Basil, you're up. Mrs. Q on deck.
You were saying?
Oh, it wasn't going to be helpful.
You said you're
Oh,
The scene from Finding Nemo.
That's exactly what I've been thinking about.
okay.
Nice.
that's a really good analogy.
Question for you.
Yeah.
So I know we have one butterfly that's currently kind of like a crystal ice statue. Is the butterfly that attacked Mrs. Q still up and is still active in this round?
Yes, so that's like the next ring of butterflies, for example. Like it's Apoc got the one at the end of the cone, and now you have the ring of the cone going outwards.
Yeah.
So yes, it is above you. Mrs. Q is one thing above you.
How high is that?
So it's like the crystals are about 10 feet. So let's say like 15 feet above you, 10, 15 feet above you, and like 40, 50 feet out from you.
Oh, okay. That changes things. What can I do then? Let's see.
This combat turn brought to you by Owl Eye Arts. Owl Eye Arts. Restock in March.
If it was 30 feet away from me, I could do something, but okay. So
It's a little bit farther than that.
yeah. And I still don't don't have the spider walk stuff anymore, right?
That I was wondering about because that's a concentration spell. But
So when you hold a spell,
but it's a cantrip. Does that matter?
I don't think so because you are waiting to execute this. So you have started that process. So spider climb is gone.
And I'm not gonna have told you, Basil. So if you're walking along, it's just gonna like. I'm wondering because I cast it when we were at the top, and it only lasts an hour. So I'm not sure. No, I don't know if we've been traveling an hour downward.
Nope. It's easy to lose track of time. You probably would have sensed that it was coming up to that hour because you can keep track of your spells, but yeah. All right, Basil, what you up to? Mrs. Q, you're on deck. Aurora, you're coming up to.
Let me check one thing. How high can I jump? Where's my trait? Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, so you're saying that the next crystal up where Mrs. Q is about 15 feet?
Yeah.
Which is exactly my standing high jump. So I'm going to. Okay, so Basil's going to. How do I want to do this? Okay, I'll play it like this. He's going to take out his blink dagger. He's gonna kind of hold it in front of him, and you'll see kind of it glow just a bit. But then you're gonna he's gonna use his what's the ability's called? Chromatic infusion. So essentially, he's just gonna hold his blink dagger. You're gonna see some light emanate from it, and then all of a sudden, it just takes on the ability. It takes on the cold elemental effect. But he's got his like skadoosh cold sword. He's got his cold blink dagger. He's not gonna attack yet, but he's gonna try and leap up to the crystal to get closer to Mrs. Q.
Okay. So if your standing high jump is that high, you can make it to the crystal. Just give me an acrobatics check to make sure you can jump and actually like get to it. Judy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
Okay, so easy enough. You can land in front with your blink dagger. What's the plan?
Yeah, what is the plan?
Well, I guess I could still attack now.
I was on my way down. I don't know why you came all the way up here.
Well, because this thing attacked you.
Yeah.
So am I now pretty close to this thing? No, it's still 40 feet away from me.
It's still far, yeah.
It wasn't close to me.
I'm just gonna like almost. I'm gonna hold my action, but like kind of stand, almost like as if I'm just like a barrier between it and Mrs. Q.
Very sweet of you.
Okay. So action held there in the event that this thing comes towards Mrs. Q. Mrs. Q, you are up. And as you are all starting to move a little bit faster, you feel the heaviness in your limbs from the heat as you're still in this hot cave. But Mrs. Q, you're up. Aurora, you're coming up.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize you were going to come up to my crystal because I was going to leave my crystal.
Either way, it could attack you while you move or something. So
How far of a drop is it to the crystal?
15 feet.
15 feet. Okay.
You're gonna tie a rope, slowly shimmy down.
I was thinking about how to do it, you know, procedurally and strategically. And most of are the butterflies like all around me, or like most of them are below me?
So you were at the top. You're maybe eye level with like the one that attacked you. There's like one, in a 20-foot arc that was kind of right above Apoc, and there's another one, another 20-foot arc. Like it's like a semicircle. Think of that. So you're at the top of that. The one closest to you is the one in front of you, and then you have one farther away.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if my idea will work then. Maybe what she'll do then, maybe we will save that for later. I'm so bad with these. No. Okay.
Don't worry, Mrs. Q, I'll protect you.
That's so nice of you. Here's a little help. And she touches Basil on the shoulder and casts protection from energy, specifically against fire.
Ooh,
Okay. Is that a verbal component?
She's been asking this a lot.
Right, it says V, so I guess so.
The silence is still active. You cannot cast verbal spells.
Dang it. Okay, no problem, no problem.
Damn you being a good DM.
I have to get you guys on something. I forget a lot.
Let me know if you guys want me to drop this. You can.
Is there a way to filter? They're all verbal. Oh man. Literally.
And would we know that we're in a 20-foot sphere? Like, would we know to like, oh, we move out of it?
Yeah, Apoc's used this before.
Oh my gosh.
I can stop it. I think the whole plan of being stealthy is kind of out the door at this point.
I'll do diddly squat.
Yeah, after you attacked it.
Excuse me.
Hang on.
It attacked us.
Wait a second. I'll get there.
We can jump back to you if you need a bit more time, Mrs. Q.
Oh, I had such a good...
Did you want to say something? I can turn it off.
Temporarily.
No, permanently. I can just shut it down.
That would be great.
Okay, silence is dropped. You can now speak again.
Protection from energy.
There we go.
Maybe at least I whisper it. You are now... Hang on. Let me confirm how this works.
Resistant to fire, or?
Resistance to one damage type of my choice. And I choose fire. Up to... it's concentration, so we'll see how long I can keep it up.
Yep.
I don't quite know how that works, but there you go. You're welcome.
Right. As Mrs. Q and Basil hole up on the top of the top crystal, the butterflies are up next, and seeing Apoc wildly moving and splashing something cold, the butterfly right above you is going to flap down towards you with a spike of fire.
You said there's like dozens of butterflies, right?
There's like 6 in your general area right now, but you can see more
Gotcha.
behind that are like slowly starting to move.
Chat.
Wait, there was also a form of dread.
Yeah.
Okay. Does a 15 hit?
It does not.
Okay. That's the butterfly below you, or above you.
Okay.
The one below you is going to try as well. That's a crit fail.
Okay. Does it do anything to the flash frozen surface that I'm standing on?
Really good. Yeah. It would be hot enough to melt it as this like mote of fire comes towards you, and just like the ice was already starting to get a little melted from being on the crystal that is like warm to the touch. This finishes it off.
Okay.
Great catch. Thank you for that. As the two kind of come towards Apoc and like pass each other epically. The one in front of Mrs. Q is going to aim again. As that's going to be, it's going to aim, I guess, at you, Basil, as you are in front. I don't think that hits. That's a 14. The one below is going to aim at the bottommost, which is going to be Elle. That's 4. And then the 2 on the far side, you are going to be the closest Apoc. So they're going to try and go for you again. Still doesn't hit. Still doesn't hit. I rolled a 4 3 times.
Yeah.
That's bad. As Astra is next up, and she was basically huddled with Mrs. Q, you hear her kind of shout telepathically to all of you. If we get out of the territory, they likely leave us alone. Let's keep moving. And she is going to try and jump twice to get down 2 and be 1 crystal under you, Elle. However, on her first jump, she biffs it and is going to take another 6 bludgeoning damage as she falls. And falls prone as the wind kind of gets knocked out of her for a second, as she is unable to make that second jump because she failed the first. Aurora, you're up, and then, sorry, we are going to have to take a call, guys, after this round is up. So, Aurora, go for it.
Okay. It's well established in Aurora's backstory under my flaws that I absolutely hate butterflies. So this is like my mortal enemy finally has reared its head. Knowing that butterflies are my mortal enemy, I wipe my hand across my nose and say, Basil, just deal with it. And I cast prestidigitation on Basil, engulfing him in the scent of eucalyptus, knowing that butterflies are repelled by eucalyptus and basil.
That's pretty funny.
Love that you know that. I love that you know that.
Amazing.
And I rush to his side to try and bask in the aura of eucalyptus off of him.
The Aurora.
And then I'd like to inspire him.
Oh, jeez, guys.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Nice.
So, we'll see how that plays out, because they may or may not be actual butterflies.
Who's this day?
But I love that.
Yeah.
Does everyone mind if we stop for 5 minutes?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We'll be right back.
Quick break.
you everyone for your patience tonight. We're sorry, we're trying to figure some stuff out on our end, but again, as always, I appreciate it.
No worries.
Did you get the info you needed?
Yeah, this place is excellent. Like I can text, I can call whenever I need, as long as like Judy is her name, she's there. She will like sit on a call. She sat on like 3-hour long calls with me the past little bit because Sean's been tied up in the lab, but I've been able to talk her through stuff. And like she's answered all my questions. We've gone through like everything. She's great. This place is really quite good.
Amazing.
Yeah, like it's 9 o'clock and she took a call. So like I'm very appreciative of it, only so that we can kind of figure out what's going on before it gets too bad, right? So thank you very much for letting us take that. It's much appreciated on our end. But if everyone's okay, we'll jump in. We won't go over too late tonight. We're gonna try and end around the same time as usual. So we'll jump in once more. Now that everyone's kind of got their feet wet with the butterflies and the crystal caves, Apoc, you are back up at the top, hearing Astra say just to try and run, but then like eating it as she tried to do so. You holding this crystalline butterfly, what are you gonna do? Elle, Basil, and Mrs. Q coming up. Quick order.
How far apart are the crystals? Like if I ran and jump off, would I land on the one below me or the one 2 below me?
So they are random. You have been lucky so far that you've been able to jump to a crystal about 10, 15. There was one max 20-foot drop that you were able to shimmy your way down. If you run and jump, depends on how much of a risk you'd like to take, but you kind of look over the edge, and because they're all crisscrossing, you do see pockets that are just black.
Okay.
So there are places that you will not land on a crystal.
Astra's 1 below me or 2 below me?
You're at like the edge of like a 30-foot crystal. Astra is 1 below you. So same level as Elle.
I jump down to Astra?
Yeah, you can jump down to Astra's. Yeah, so 1 below you. So just make athletics or acrobatics check is what it is.
All right.
Yeah, wait, let me check. Hold on. Let me make sure.
It's not going to matter.
It's acrobatics.
Yeah, Apoc lands on his back, but then springs up to his feet instantly.
This means, man, very annoying for this character.
The 5. And then can I jump down 1 more?
Yes. So if you land, just an FYI, if you land on your feet, you're choosing to move and you land on your feet when you move, you can try again. If you do not land on your feet, that is your movement. That's how we're playing it.
We're just going, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that what we're doing?
Apoc yells out loud to the entirety of the room, "See you at the bottom!"
The girls will hear you.
They're okay. And then he goes down to a second one.
Okay, another acrobatics.
That's a 2 and a 1, baby.
It doesn't even matter. It's so annoying.
He's just landing on his back to protect this crystalline butterfly from breaking.
Yeah, and you're having to hold it. It's big.
Yeah.
All right, so Apoc is taking basically like move and action kind of situation to jump down. Elle, Apoc is now 1 below you.
Okay. Hearing Astra's advice, Elle is gonna, I'm pro now. Can I just kind of crawl and like try to like slip down to the next? Like kind of like worm my way down?
Yes, you absolutely can. You can also stand up and jump. Like the movement rules are like a little odd, but I have my list here. So you just want to just slowly slide off. Give me an acrobatics to see if you can land on the next one.
It's bad.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. As you slide off of 1, I have been rolling 6s on this the entire time. Take another 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you slide off 1 and then face plant onto the one below you. So you face plant next to Astra, who has also just gotten up and is sitting up from splatting as well.
Why are these things so slippery? Are we just sweaty and just like slipping on everything?
Aster kind of nods. Yes, I would like to blame it on that. I would like to blame it on that as well. As she's kind of huffing and puffing a little bit, getting her breath back.
Okay, with that, so for my movement, I'm again gonna hold a frostbite if one of these things comes. Like if something looks like it's gonna make a move to attack.
Okay.
In my range.
Sounds good. It actually would have gone off last time because they were in 60-foot range, right?
Yeah.
They would have been in your range. I apologize if you want to like make your roll or whatever frostbite is.
Which one would it have been at, Mrs. The one that attacked Mrs. Q? I was really only holding it if one of them is hostile.
One tried to attack you and missed, so you could aim it at that one. That would have been the closest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and make that roll. We'll retcon just a little bit. Go ahead and make that roll.
Well, the target has to make a con saving throw.
Gotcha.
For a 14.
Crit fail. That one can go over there.
Ooh.
You say crit fail?
Yep.
On a failed save, target takes 1d6 cold damage.
Okay.
That's 5.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, target takes the damage and has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its turn.
Okay. Super relevant. Love it. Okay, so all right. So as you hit it, and it like shears off part of the wing, the lower wing. And it's interesting because as you hit it, it kind of like shears and the flames almost flicker away. Like this thing itself is made of fire. It is still standing, but you now see it kind of lopsided flying. As that was from the previous round, but you can hold frostbite again if you want for this round.
Okay. I just have one quick question. So when I read my spell, it says on a failed save, target takes 1d6 cold damage. But when I look at my cantrips and like to roll it on this, it says 2d6. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, because you are level 10.
Okay. So it's actually 2d6. So can I roll another d6?
Yes, of course.
6.
Yeah.
11.
As that extra damage goes through and you see this thing like and kind of disappear in like a bit of cloud condensation as your frostbite has obliterated this one.
Sweet. Elle feels super powerful and she's just like ready for something else to happen.
As you say sweet and you see the reflections of other butterflies kind of flapping along in the background. Basil, you're up. Mrs. Q, you're on deck.
So are we fighting or are we running?
Beats me. Half of us are running.
Like run and attack as needed is Elle's strategy right now.
As Sir Basil gets the scent of eucalyptus, does he know there's anything happening?
You smell great.
Okay.
I realize you're right for it, so it smells good.
Was Aurora trying to get up to me and Mrs. Q?
I'm right beside you, Basil.
Okay. What to do? And so there's the one that's 40 feet away from me. And I can just see sort of these other ones, but the 4 and 40 feet in front of me is the closest, correct?
Correct. I will also say the rest of your friends are now out of eyesight as they're like 2-3 rungs down.
Okay.
Basil.
So Basil's gonna still hold. So like he's not gonna attack. He still has his bling dagger, his sword. He'll go Hulk Basil, and can he like essentially like grab Mrs. Q and Aurora and just like jump? Like essentially in his mind it's like we gotta get out of here. Big Basil, try and sweep them up and just like jump down.
Like Godzilla style, or whatever.
King Kong
King Kong, that's
style.
what I'm thinking. Not the lizard
Whoosh.
guy.
And just jump down.
Now, what is your... Here we go. Okay. You are small, you become large.
If I can't grab both, then I would grab maybe like Mrs. Q and like grab Aurora's hand and be like, jump. So it'd be like holding Mrs. Q and maybe like helping Aurora jump. That would be like the idea of it.
Okay, a large creature can pick up a medium creature in D&D, depending on the creature's carrying capacity. Yeah, you're fine. You can pick up one of them.
Pick up Mrs. Q.
Okay, and what's the plan with Mrs. Q? You're just gonna jump down?
With her, like, let's say a fireman lifts over the shoulder.
Very prickly. Just warning
Mr.
you.
Basil just will endure
Okay.
and just grabs Aurora's hand and just says jump, and we jump.
So you are dragging Aurora right now.
That's,
Okay, Basil. So for yourself, go ahead and make an acrobatics check. And we'll figure out what to do with Aurora in a second.
That's a what's it? 27?
27. Okay. So you are able to jump and you're able to land with Mrs. Q. You can carry one creature. You are dragging Aurora, and it is going to drag you a little bit off balance. So you land safely. But what I would like you to do is to hold on to Aurora's hand. And Aurora, let me know if you're going to help in any way with this. Or if you want to do anything while this happens, or if you want to resist while this happens, or whatever.
I'm not resisting. I'm gonna like get pulled, not expecting it, and just go with it. And
Yeah.
I will, if I can, as a free action. It's like, don't hold my hand. I can do it myself.
I love that.
But I go along with it, just for show.
Just for fun things. Yep, love that. Basil, just make a strength check to see if you can hang on to Aurora when she's dead weight pulling you off balance in this jump, because you cannot technically carry two people.
Okay. So it should be just D20 plus that, right?
Or straight strength, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
You have
That's a
you are bardically inspired.
Ooh, so what is that?
D8.
Oh,
Ooh, D8. Do I have a D8 in here?
use my one.
Oh, yes.
Very nice.
So that's plus 7, so that's unnatural 20.
Thank God for that, because you didn't make it the first time.
Okay.
So as you drag Aurora behind you, you land safely. Aurora, you kind of get tossed around. You have to like make sure your dress is going to stay in place because you're currently in a dress, right? And you feel very much like Marilyn Monroe style for a second as your skirt flips up before you push it down with your one free hand. Your shin is a little bruised up as you kind of bang into the side of this crystal, but you are able to get on with Basil still grabbing onto you for this round.
I want to know that the dress falls perfect along my silhouette.
It sure does.
There you go.
Love it.
Doesn't
That is
matter.
your turn though, Basil.
It should be like slow-mo where it's just like Aurora just like in Hulk Basil's arms, like Mrs. Q just like falling slowly, just like I don't know.
Nope, that is not how that goes.
He is the hero we all ask for.
In Basil's
Basil's mind, that's how it's going.
Yeah. Elle, you just hear a crack behind you into the crystal.
Things must be going well up there.
Yeah.
You
Miss-
Basil think I'm so cool.
Mrs. Q, you are up. Aurora, you're coming up.
Right. So where have we landed?
I guess we're 15 feet down from where we were.
And that is still above where Apoc and Elle are
They're about 30 feet,
below us.
right?
So you're at the top. Apoc is at the very bottom. Elle and Astra are in between. And that's everybody.
Mhm.
So there is still one open. It's you. There's an opening. There's Elle and Astra and Apoc. Not opening, sorry, like a blank layer, let's say. Which I gotta keep this straight in my head somehow, and I didn't draw anything out to help me.
Okay.
Is there a blank one between? Because they were above and we were below one. And then,
So Basil hopped up to Mrs. Q to help.
yeah, that's where Mrs. Q was, and APOC was here. Alan asked her down 1, APOC dropped down 2.
Correct.
But they've dropped down 1 already, right?
So we should be.
Sorry, they were one higher than you at the start. They were
Yeah.
one higher than you to start. You dropped down 2. Astra and Elle have dropped down. They dropped down 1. So there is a blank spot in the middle. They are now where you started.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Okay. Jesus.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There is a blank spot in the middle. I
Okay.
believe. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but I think I have that right. What you doing, Mrs. Q?
I thought I knew. Changed my mind.
Still 2.
Yeah, because Basil went up 1. I'll draw it out for myself.
Can't find what I was gonna do. No, that's okay. That's concentration. So whatever I do can't be that. Unless I want to drop it. Okay, well, I don't know. So we are going to the nearest butterfly that is, okay, not necessarily the nearest, but the one that is closest to obstructing our path downwards.
Okay.
Mrs. Q, because now she can speak, does some like hushed whispers and some hand waving, and casts guiding bolt on the one that's in the way.
Okay. So the one that would be in the way would actually be the very, very bottom one. I'll just send a little picture of what I'm envisioning here. Yeah. I'll forget it. So it would be the very, very bottom one. So guiding bolts, go ahead and roll, because you roll for guiding bolts.
I'm rolling at second level, excuse me.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, that is 1, 2.
No, sorry, roll your attack roll first.
Oh, right.
And this is a second level guiding bolt.
Hang on.
Put those on the side.
Did you?
So the other one you're using.
That's a crit fail.
No.
As your guiding bolt goes wide, unfortunately, the butterfly just moving itself out of the way. Apoc, you can't see Mrs. Q. You can't see Mrs. Q and Basil, but you see the streak of her magic coming down, basically right in front of you, aiming for the butterfly that is like kind of below and just to the right. Oh no. Sorry, Mrs. Q.
That happens.
Fortunate.
I'd just like to point out that I have 3 arms in this picture.
I know. It's the best I could do.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot going on there.
That's the mage hand.
Yeah.
No,
Nice.
Ava's trying its best.
Yeah.
It's okay,
All right.
Mrs. Q. You'll get him next time.
You bet I will. Pink lightning can strike twice.
All right. As the one that Mrs. Q was just aiming for is the one closest to you, Apoc. So it is going to start flapping, and you feel the heat as a bolt of energy is going to come towards you. That will hit. 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. As you feel it strike into your shoulder as you take 4, rolled real bad.
A half damage.
2 fire damage. A whopping 2 fire damage. As you feel it strike into your shoulder from that guy. The one above, the one that Basil and Mrs. Q were face to face with, it's going to aim for Sir Basil. That is going to not hit. 14? I don't think that hits.
Nope.
And Elle has taken care of the one on this side, as the other 3 are starting to move slowly closer to you, as they have to kind of make up some distance as you have moved below. Yes, Elle?
Are those moving towards me?
No, so they are the 3 on the far side, so they were in a circle. You've taken out the one in the bottom quadrant, so that quadrant is free. The one below you at the bottom of the circle has attacked Apoc. The one above has attacked your friends. These other 3 are starting to move over because you are slowly getting out of their eyesight as you're moving down these crystals. There's things in the way, right? So they're trying to get a line.
So if I had held another frostbite, and saw that it attacked one of my compatriots, would I have?
So you can see the one that attacked Apoc. You cannot see the ones that are attacking Mrs. Q up above and Basil up above, but you saw the one that attacked Apoc, so you can go ahead and take your attack.
Okay, so it's a con 14.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
No.
It just rolled a 14, so it's safe.
I think does it take anything?
That's the one. Let me know if it takes anything, but I don't think so on a cantrip.
Okay, well, it says on a failed save, the target takes 1d6.
So
But it didn't fail, so it passed. So no, it doesn't take anything. Dang it! I tried.
No.
That's okay. As Astra gets herself back up after the butterflies are closing in the distance, and you feel the heat as they start to congregate a little bit. And she's going to just kind of look to you, Elle, and be like, hopefully this next one's a little bit easier, and is going to jump down towards you, Apoc.
Okay.
And makes it this time.
Hey.
As she kind of lands next to you and wobbles a little bit. Just, all right, we're going down?
Aren't you a bird?
Yes?
Can't you glide down?
I mean, normally, yes. Longer distances are easy to glide. I can also transform if we want to try and get out of here, but I was trying to save that in case we need it.
Yeah, save that. I thought birds could just flap their wings to float down a little bit.
Like a 30-foot drop where you go.
It's very insensitive to assume, Apoc.
I'm sorry.
Astra's like, you know what? It's a really rough day. Leave me alone.
Don't you remember days? He tried to do this kind of stuff all the time and it never worked.
Well, we climbed up a few trees and I thought they had a pretty easy time getting down. I
She
fell.
actually can. It's 10 feet. I thought it was farther than that.
I fell, and that's why I started perfecting my landings.
You say that, and Astra kind of takes a beat. It's like, right. Before she will jump once more, knowing that, and she's going to aim for 2 below you, just to try and get a little bit level with the one.
Oh, shit. Bird's gonna bird.
Right.
Yeah, so you see her kind of jump and flap and open her wings and glide down. She has to spend her reaction in order to land safely. But you see her able to land 2 rungs below you. So she is now kind of face to face with the lowest most butterfly. Aurora, you're up. Apoc coming back to you at the top.
Basil, as you're holding my hand, you feel my hand start to phase through yours as
Whoa.
your grip kind of like grasps like tighter. My hand's no longer there as it phases through yours as I'm casting ghostly jaunt on myself. And then I'm gonna don't worry, like I said, I'm gonna run ahead too, and I'm gonna run in the direction that we're all going. Having a little bit of extra movement with the ghostly jaunt and not provoking opportunity attacks as I do so, as I run by these butterflies.
So are you running straight along your crystal towards the butterflies, or are you going down?
I'm going to go down where it makes sense to go down. And like if I have to hop, I'll do so.
Okay, so you are going to have to hop down.
Let's do it.
So you are going to have to hop down. So let me know if the ghostly jaunt does anything, but you have added movement, so you can probably try and hop down 3 rungs, okay. I'm going to say.
Yeah, let's do that.
So go ahead, jump down to the first one. Acrobatics check, please.
5.
Oh. 5. As you jump and you land once more. Thank goodness you're not wearing heels because that twisted ankle hurts. As you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, I switched my dice, so I'll take the other d6 back. But with your extra movement, you can get back up and try again if you
like. 9.
Wow. You thunk. Elle, you feel a vibration through your feet as Aurora thunks next to you. Landing perfectly once more, but and that is another 1 point of bludgeoning damage, Aurora.
Awesome.
Once dead.
Can I action dash and do some more?
Ooh.
Because that would be a movement. Yes, you can. You can get up once more and take 1 more leap.
Let's go. Fuck. It's a nat 1.
Our first nat 1 going down here.
Yeah.
Curse you, boys.
There is a flash of sapphire behind you as you see Aurora jump from the crystal above, and you see her miss your crystal.
Oof.
Aurora, you have missed the crystal with a nat 1, and you have found yourself in a little pocket where there was no crystal to land. You are currently falling. We'll get to that. Unless there's anything you want to do.
Nope.
All you have is a reaction, I think.
My turn.
Okay. So yeah, Aurora just passes right by.
Can I react?
I say, don't you look up my skirt?
But it's more like, don't you look at my skirt?
Yes.
Is it like Marilyn Monroeing up, or is it still down?
I'm very much not in control of it right now.
You didn't say anything about looking down.
Don't look at me, I'm flustered.
Are you going to do anything? You are the only one who can.
Like, can I reach out while she's falling? Like, are you still ethereal as you fall? So I couldn't even reach out to grab you or touch you, right?
Let me check. Yeah, I could. The ethereal is more just the vibe. But I could be grabbed if I want to.
Are you reaching out for help? I guess this is a question for.
That's more for. I don't think so because I'm falling, and because Andrea is shaking her head no.
Did you do that again?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I think we heard
weird noises.
The birds.
keep an ear open.
Yeah.
Sorry.
God.
I'm gonna say, so this is a surprise to both you and Aurora. You can make an attempt. It will be hard.
If she's not reaching out, I think she's fine, right?
Okay. All
We'll
right.
figure this out.
She's just trying to control her spit. She's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a reach out for help, if not, then like it's a strong, independent woman situation.
Okay. As she falls through a hole, like crystals are like this, and she just falls straight through the hole. Strong, independent woman. It's your turn.
Title episode.
Can I look down and see how far she's falling?
You see her falling.
Does it look like there's an end in sight?
Looks pretty dark.
God damn it. Apoc jumps after.
Oh my god.
I'm coming.
They're both falling.
You better not be.
All right. Apoc and Aurora are off the map.
Jesus.
Has Elle seen this happen since I'm a little
Yes.
bit further down?
Yes.
Can
you
I
have seen that
can I
happen.
see the pocket where they went in?
Yep.
Okay.
There's that jump too.
Okay.
Don't you dare, Elle.
I have a different idea.
Good.
We'll see.
Was there anything else you wanted to do, or was that it?
Well, yeah,
Is she just upset, or is she hurt?
I don't think she's hurt. She's just upset. Can I fall faster? Can I try and dive to catch up?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. You can try and dive to catch up.
And like, could I make it there? Like, could I cover the distance?
Huh.
Like, that's how far away are we? And
Hold on. Fall 10 feet around.
Could your fleas propel you forward, like down more?
I was about to ask, can your fleas propel you? Because if yes, then
so in theory, they can move me when I make an attack, but like we're not making attacks here, right? So the swarm, you are moved 5 feet horizontally. So like we're talking about vertical depth here. So
Okay.
I don't know if this applies.
you do way more than Aurora.
Mhm.
She is a slight, feminine, strong, independent woman, but strong, independent woman.
Knowing Apoc's thought process, it would probably give him a few seconds before he realizes he needs to jump in.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know what? Go ahead and what are we gonna make here? Let's leave this up to the dice.
I love this.
I'm gonna make this acrobatics. If you can kind of contort yourself enough that you can get into a position where you can close yourself in to make it to Aurora, then yes, it'll be a bit challenging.
It's a 10.
Not enough.
Yeah.
You do not make it to Aurora.
Still rolling disadvantage.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. As you two are both falling and the crystals are like whipping as you go. Elle, you're up. Sir Basil and Mrs. Cute, you're gonna check with her.
Okay. Okay. I have an idea. So Elle has seen this happen.
Correct.
She has no concept of how quickly they're falling. Steph kind of does now. But when she sees Apoc go. So am I. How close am I to them? Can I use some of my movement to get closer to the hole?
So you can look over your crystal, and as you did, you saw Aurora slip through because Aurora passed you. Apoc was one rung lower, so you saw Apoc jump in after.
Okay. Am I able to climb down to get a little closer to the hole? I want to be. I think being near it is a better way to try to do what I want to do.
You can certainly get to one of the crystals around the hole. Yes, like you can get to
Okay.
one more lower rung. You're gonna have to make an acrobatics check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And you hear, God damn it, Apoc, now I gotta save your ass too.
Okay, that's a nat 20 for 25 total. So
Perfect.
I
Yep,
should
you're good.
move well.
Wait.
Okay. And okay, I don't know if this is gonna work,
Do it,
but
do it.
knowing Elle's gonna cast Thorn Whip to try to catch Apoc.
Yes.
So it has a range of 30 feet. But the thing is, I'm shooting this down into a hole, not knowing if it'll hit. I'm hoping it'll hit Apoc. And my next thing, I wonder if Apoc can choose to let it hit him. Anyways, I'm gonna try to hit Apoc, and if I do get him, I can pull him 10 feet closer to me. But then my question is, do I still then have them on? Would I still have Apoc on like the end of my Thorn Whip? There's a lot of logistics potentially in
I
it.
love this.
I think you'll only know if you try.
Exactly.
Thorn Whip is a cantrip.
It is.
Correct. Okay.
But I guess I'm wondering, like, if I cast it, does my thorn like immediately disappear? Or is it like still, am I like Spider-Manning him?
So the casting time is an action. The duration is instantaneous. It
Okay.
exists and it doesn't.
Okay. But it was also a cantrip, so I could technically keep trying to do it.
Correct. Correct. Is that what you're gonna make an attempt with?
I'm gonna try, I guess. Because I just saw them fall into nothing, and this might be the bare minimum of what I'm able to do.
And certainly keep in mind an entire round. Everything happens in 6 seconds. So they're not
Yeah.
falling long. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll against Apoc.
Okay.
What?
Another nat. I just rolled 2 nat 20s in a row.
Ella's trying to pull you back.
What happened to Aurora?
She's gone, bruh.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Elle saw you both fall,
Oh, yeah.
but you are closer to the top of the hole. Elle is
Yeah.
trying to thorn with you
That's-
back.
Yeah.
2 big natural 20s. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But now I'm worried that if I catch Apoc and he hasn't caught you, I'm just gonna pull Apoc back up, which is not what Elle wants to do, but okay.
It's a really good thought, Steph.
Yeah.
Don't always work in your favor. It didn't work in Apoc's favor to grab Aurora, but it's a really good idea. With a nat 20, you do hit Apoc's AC. Apoc, you don't necessarily see this coming.
No.
Oh yeah,
so-
you're gonna take some damage too.
Where do you catch him?
I want to say like by the foot, because then with a nat 20, like I'm imagining it's trying to give Apoc as good a chance of catching Aurora as possible.
Mhm.
You are also going to take 11 points of damage.
Do I see this? You said I don't see this coming, right?
You can make a perception. I don't think you see this coming because you jumped down. You were trying to catch Aurora. Your focus is down, right?
I mean, I gotta go with what Apoc would do and just cast Spiny Shield.
Okay.
Because he jumped into a dark hole and then got hit
Yeah.
unexpectedly. So
Oh no.
Spiny Shield at a second level. No, actually, let's just do first level. I don't know if he knows what this is, and it probably doesn't feel like it hurts that much. Down.
The shield is. Hold on a second. Hold on.
This is a melee attack, right?
Melee spell attack. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, when you hit by a melee attack, it reduces
Sorry, I
the
thought it
damage
was
you
range.
take.
That's on me.
Yeah, it's okay. So he's going to reduce that by 5, but Elle, you're going to take 5 piercing damage.
Hell.
Yep.
We thought the
'Cause they
butterflies
actually-
were the enemies. It turns out it was us.
Yeah. It's like so long team. Free for all.
Apoc, I'm just trying to
So
help.
the thorn whip still hits you.
Mhm.
Elle, you take some spine damage as they shunt back towards your hands, and you feel the thorns dig into you. But you do have Apoc on the end of your thorn whip. Creature takes 1d6 piercing damage, and if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you. So as your thorn whip retracts and pulls Apoc up, that is enough that Apoc, you pop back up.
What?
Fuck.
It's 10 feet around, so you jumped in, you fell, you got pulled back up.
Apoc, do you have any rope? Can we like tie rope to you and then you jump down? Because how are we? It's no good if you jump in and we can't help you too.
I can fly.
Oh, okay, then get in the hole.
Okay, and then she just pushes him back in the hole.
Yeah.
Fucking chaos.
And then,
Oh my god.
you know, I was debating how to do this, and I'm kind of happy I decided to go in initiative order because this is hilarious.
All these birds around, and the boar's the only one that's gonna flap his wings.
Oh my gosh. All right, Elle, that's your turn.
I do sincerely want to push Apoc in, but I don't know if I can do that.
You could if you want.
But I used my. Well,
That's fair.
actually.
You would
Yeah,
need a
no,
second attack.
my thorn whip is an action, and I only get one.
just Basil, you're up. Mrs. Q, you're on deck. I am aware of the time. We're just gonna make it to the end of this round.
God, that's so good.
Across the telepathic bond, Elle's going to be like, we need to better communicate all of our skill set to each other.
What is happening?
I don't think I have done this much damage to
You
you guys.
haven't.
Have you have done to yourselves
You
in this entire
you
cave?
didn't do
I
damage
think,
to me.
I think Elle has thorn whipped everybody in this group at least once.
The rite of passage.
It's really good.
I've taken 17 points of damage tonight, 2 of which are from Andrea.
Yeah.
Um,
I've burned through all my temporary HP from the form of dread by my own doing.
Oh my god. You guys.
is Basil still holding Mrs. Q?
Yeah, you haven't put me down.
Okay, so Basil will probably do something. He's probably thinking, I gotta get down to everyone as quickly as I can. I have to help Mrs. Q. So still holding Mrs. Q over his shoulder. He'll probably do something similar to Aurora. So he'll use his full movement to try and get down as far as he can, and then dash to see if he can get further.
Okay. Also, you did not see what just happened with Aurora and Apoc, just as an FYI.
Well, I guess all I would have seen is Aurora slip through my hands and fall.
And then she was gone. Controlled jump to the next one.
Mhm.
Okay, so you would like to try and jump to you want to try and get down as many rungs as you can, is what I'm understanding. Okay, so make an acrobatics check to see if you can make it down the first rung. Wild.
That's 14.
14 is just what you need to make it down the rung. So you land on your feet. You're a little unsteady having Mrs. Q on your shoulder, but you are able to land. You can go ahead and try again if you'd like.
That's 19.
19. So you are able to make it down the 2 rungs. So useful. You now see Elle and Apoc 1 rung below you. Like standing, looking at each other. Elle has a few thorns in her side as Apoc has like a slash from the thorn whip across his ankle. And they're just kind of talking to each other, and you see Elle kind of give a little shove, trying to push Apoc into this hole behind the crystal.
I was gonna be like, what are you doing?
We're like Mufasa and Scar, and I'm just about to push him.
Oh my gosh.
Basil will yell, will say to the group, I guess we're still mentally linked, right?
Yeah.
Where's Aurora? Where is she?
Falling.
What?
Don't worry, I'm a strong, independent woman. I got this. You should have asked before you jumped in.
Mrs. Q, what are you up to?
I have no flipping idea what the heck to do.
Don't jump in.
Are there still butterflies, or have we passed the butterflies?
No, they're still there. They're clearly not the major threat here, though.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This is really good.
Yeah.
It matters. Okay. Okay, so we are now standing by Elle and Apoc. Or no, Apoc's fallen in again?
No,
Not yet.
no, you are one rung above them.
We're okay, great. In which case, hang on. Mrs. Q. Nope. Seeing that Apoc and Elle have taken some damage. Hang on.
I'm gonna try and heal.
Yes, but I gotta find the one where I can do more than one person. Nope. Aha.
Are you?
Maybe.
Okay.
Surely this whole is
This is
This is just chamber one, you guys.
I know, so I don't want to burn all of these. I don't want to burn my big spells. You guys, stop hurting each other.
We're not. We're also hurting just from like trying to like get down to see what.
Did she say stop flirting with each other?
Okay, maybe she'll just focus on Apoc because he seems to be the most dinged up at the moment. And she casts Healing Word at what is this? At the 4th level.
Whoa.
Let's get some hit points back. So that's
just for reference, Apoc does look pretty good.
well, you just said you had 17 damage, and most of that was from us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like 10% of his hit points.
Apoc's a chunky boy.
Let her do what she wants to do. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the mouth.
No, for sure.
Mrs. Q is a strong, independent woman. Shut up.
Thank you for backing me up from all the way down there.
Got you, girl.
Yeah.
So title.
Okay, Mrs. Q sprinkles some glitter on you.
That's
It's not
never
necessary. The glitter's just because she likes glitter. This is just a verbal spell.
I love that. All right,
Nice.
roll some healing there, Mrs. Q.
May I?
Yes.
Oh, hang on, these are the right dice. 1,
What do you mean?
2. The triangle,
How
please.
many?
2 more, please. Thank you. That is, oops, that was a 4. 4, 8, math, 11,
14.
14 plus 2. 16 of your 17 hit points have been restored.
Thank you.
All right. All right, as that is, as Mrs. Q sends you some healing from just above you, as the butterflies begin to close in once more. The one at the bottom is going to go for Astra, as actually the 2 at the bottom are going to go for Astra. She is the lowest target. That will miss. That will also miss. And the 3 at the top are going to hone in around Basil and Mrs. Q, as you are the highest most ones. So the first aiming towards Basil, that's going to be a 21.
Yep.
So you are going to take 8 points of fire damage on that first one as a like ball of fire, or sorry, mote of fire shoots out towards you, kind of pierces.
Hang on, let me make sure. Yeah, this one wasn't a concentration spell. So does that mean my other spell would still be in effect?
Oh, the protection from energy?
Mhm.
So it is resistance. So instead of, what did I say, 8?
Yeah.
You take 4 points of fire damage. And I
Cool.
think that resistance is gone now if I, or does it, wait, no, it's
I
not.
think
Lasts a minute.
Lasts
It lasts. Okay, so it's
Is
still
it
in effect.
an hour?
I can check that.
There's so many spells.
I know it's a little overwhelming.
Mm.
Concentration up to an hour.
Ooh.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, if it's too much in your D&D Beyond, you can always turn off the spells that repeat at higher levels, so it doesn't show up. So like this healing word doesn't show up at each one, but you got to know if you can upcast it or not.
Okay, that I would not know.
Yeah.
I will have to deal with the
Yeah.
chaos.
It says it in the spells, but anyways, just an option.
That's
Okay.
really good to know, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so that was the first one. The second one coming in, that'll be a 19 to hit. So that'll be 15 points of fire damage reduced to 7.
Okay.
And the third one, the last one coming in, I don't think that hits. That's a 15 to hit.
My armor is 15.
Okay, so it does hit. That's going to be 10 points reduced to 5.
Okay.
As these 3 streaks of fire are coming out towards you. All 3 of them hitting, but thanks to Mrs. Q's spell, they just slightly ricochet enough so you are not taking damage. Astra is next, as she is going to... I do not think she saw what happened. Nope, because she is 1 rung below. She has no idea that Aurora has fallen. She is going to instead. What that she can do here? Yeah, she doesn't have a whole lot that she can do. She is going to telepathically reach out and say, "Are we all still good? Are we all still heading down? I can't see you anymore."
Well, we're heading down, all right.
Aurora's falling.
Falling to the next round.
In a way.
Further than that one.
All right. And Astra, no one can see her because you are all above and your vision is obscured from where Astra is, but Astra is going to try and see if she can kind of get a chance to see Aurora before she is just going to try and fall as far as she can go with a powerful wing flap to try and land. So she's going to aim. She's going to aim about. She's going to aim 4 rungs down to see if she can see Aurora.
Wow.
So she is going to reach out and be like, "I'm just going to try and get a little lower. Maybe I could see her if she is falling." And she is going to jump and land. So that uses her reaction. But she is now very much out of sight. And she's going to telepathically say, "Please keep moving down. I think we're almost out of range. We haven't attracted any of the other butterflies."
Mission accomplished, guys. We did it.
How do we just fall?
You got it.
As Astra is out of your eyesight, very much so now. Aurora, you are falling, and these are kind of whipping by these crystals. What are you doing?
Well, the question is, how far do I fall? And how far is the fall?
You are hitting, for brevity's sake, you hit like 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet before you start to see light coming from beneath you as you get a chance to kind of get your skirt out of the way and see that there is something coming up around like the 50, 60 foot mark that you.
Okay. Does it look like, so this light, does it look like solid ground?
It looks like crystal, like a glow from the crystal. It's a dampened glow. It's very dark. Your vision has to really kind of adjust with how bright the crystals are compared to the darkness.
Mhm.
Doesn't look like ground. It looks like crystal.
Okay.
Whether that is the ground or not, who knows?
I'm gonna look down at my dress and say, I really liked you. As you start to see my fur kind of break up and plumage start to grow as I cast polymorph on myself and turn into a snowy owl, a giant snowy owl.
Very nice.
That's pretty cool.
And you see the cocktail dress rip around me.
Oh,
Like Hulk, but an elegant form.
Yeah, much more graceful.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
elegant.
I pull my descent down.
Okay. As you slow your descent with the snowy owl, you get a really good look as you kind of just start to lazily almost circle down. It was like an 80-foot drop. As you spend the next little bit of your movement just getting down. And you can see as you perch. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you kind of, maybe not perch, but make it to that light that was coming up.
19.
As you perch and kind of get a bit of a vantage point from this area, you're far below your friends now, 60, 70 feet. You can see not too far away off to your left, there looks to be like a smaller tunnel that actually tunnels into the wall, not a crystal, but into the wall. You see a lot more broken crystal down here with a 19, so not necessarily the really nice shards that you saw up at the top, but a lot of like broken, jagged ridges.
Okay.
And it is hot. You feel it in your feet. You feel it like even in your chest in this form. And you get almost a sense of danger by the heat, how far down you are now.
Okay.
Okay. We are back up at the top of the order, but it is after 10. So I think we'll jump back in. Jump. We'll jump back in. Picking up right there at the top.